blood filled Lena's throat as she struggled to breathe, the sound of tires screeching fading into the ringing in her ears. She could taste iron, her vision blurring. Yet even as her body gave out, her eyes found them. Adrian, her husband, holding Clara in his arms as though Lena were already gone. Not fear, not grief, not even guilt crossed his face. Only annoyance that she had discovered the truth. The car accident had not been an accident at all. She had confronted them about their affair, and now she was paying the price. As the cold crept into her bones, her last thought was bitter. So this is how love ends. Then darkness. But when she opened her eyes again, the ceiling above her was not the wreckage of twisted metal, but the pale cream of her old bedroom. Her heart thundered as she sat up, lungs desperate for air. She knew this room. She knew the scent of lavender drifting from the curtains. And when she caught sight of the calendar on the nightstand, her blood ran cold. It was 5 years earlier, the morning of her wedding day. For a long time she sat in silence, trembling. She remembered everything. The vows, the smiles, the gradual poison of lies, and finally the cruel betrayal that ended her life. Somehow she had been given another chance, and this time she would not play the naive wife who mistook charm for devotion. Adrian knocked on the door and stepped inside, his smile dazzling as ever. Nervous, love, today's the big day. He leaned down to kiss her cheek, the same lips that years later would whisper lies into Clara's ear. Lena forced herself to meet his gaze, and for the first time, she noticed the faint flicker of calculation behind the warmth. She swallowed her disgust and let him leave, already planning. At the ceremony, she walked down the aisle with steady steps, hearing the applause, seeing Clara's face among the guests. Clara, who hugged her so tightly, whispering congratulations as though she weren't already dreaming of taking everything Lena had. Lena hugged her back, a mask over the fire burning inside. Days became weeks. Adrian showered her with affection, but Lena no longer melted under his touch. She studied him instead, memorizing the patterns of his deceit. When he laughed too freely with Clara, when his phone lit up at odd hours, when he urged Lena to depend on him completely, she remembered how in her first life she had handed him her trust until she had nothing left. This time she quietly began moving money into an account he could not touch, reconnecting with allies he had once driven away, relearning the business she had abandoned. Adrian noticed her coolness. "You've changed," he said one evening, his tone soft but edged. "Don't you trust me?" Lena smiled faintly. "Should I?" His silence was answer enough. The gala arrived. The same event that in her first life had solidified Adrian and Clara's hold on her. But not this time. Dressed in midnight silk, Lena commanded the room with a calm grace she had never known before. She waited until Clara stood close to Adrian, their whispers hidden behind polite laughter, before she unveiled the evidence she had prepared. Documents proving Clara had embezzled charity funds, her name tied inescapably to fraud. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Clara's painted smile cracked, her denials tumbling out in desperation while Adrian's face darkened with shock and fury. Lena's voice cut through the chaos, cold and clear. "A friend who betrays is no friend at all. I won't be blind again." The room turned against Clara. Adrian tried to smooth it over later, his charm faltering, his anger simmering. "You humiliated her, you humiliated me." Lena lifted her suitcase, already packed. "You did that yourself the moment you chose lies over love." He grabbed her arm, but she pulled free, her gaze unwavering. "This time I'm not staying. This time, Adrian, I get to live." She walked out into the night, the crisp air stinging her lungs but filling her with something she hadn't felt in years. Freedom. The ache of betrayal was still inside her, but it no longer chained her. It drove her forward, reborn not just to survive, but to claim the life that was stolen. And as the stars wheeled overhead, Lena whispered to herself, steady and unafraid, "Never again."